What's up guys, it's me Lukat and this is my second YouTube video. Most of you know me from my TikTok tutorials where I do systems and models and whatever, I don't know. Today I thought why don't you go to Blender and show the people what you can do in Blender. So in this video I will show you guys some of the basic steps to learn Blender. From moving around to beveling objects, all the stuff you need for your Blender experience. So how do you get Blender? First you go on this website called blender.org. Here on this website you can click on download. Now you will be sent to this download page where you can download Blender. You can select your device. I will stay with Windows and download the Blender file. Now they will ask you to donate, but also say that they automatically installed the files. So now you can click either on download manually. So now you can click either. So now they will send you to this page, which name is thanks. You're welcome. We say that they automatically start with the download. You can also start the download manually when you didn't succeed downloading it, but normally it should be downloaded now. So now you go back to your Blender, and when you did the first steps, you should see something like this. First things first, how do I move in Blender? So you have your mouse, and on this mouse in the middle you have the button, your scrolling wheel. When you press on the scrolling wheel, you can move around. Magic, right? When you scroll with your scrolling wheel, you can move in or out. And also by pressing shift plus the scrolling wheel, you can move around where you face. You know what I mean? I don't know if you know what I mean, but you can move around. That's all you need to know. But yeah, that's the main thing you will need is scrolling in and out and clicking with your scrolling wheel to move. One last thing I want to show you before we start is adding new meshes to your viewport. Just click up here on add and select the mesh you want to add. We have like circles, spheres, whatever you want. But I will start with the cube today. You can also add meshes by clicking shift plus A and selecting the mesh. Now how do I interact with this cubey thing? So by clicking on the cube, you can move it with G. By pressing G, you can move it around. That's very cool. You also have the opportunity to press X, Y and Z to move them along the axis. In addition to the moving tool, you also have the scale tool up here, which you can use by pressing S on your cube thingy, and you can scale in or out by moving your mouse. You can also do the same thing on the axis by pressing the axis buttons and moving them around your axis. Last thing in this mode is the rotate tool. You can press R and rotate your object along the axis or just in the space how you want it. You can also find all the tools up here on the top left. Now you ask yourself, bro, how do I get in the edit mode? Yeah, it's very simple. You just press on the cube or whatever it is and click on tab. You can also change into the edit mode by clicking up here at the object mode on the arrow and selecting the edit mode. But I recommend using just tab because tab is very easy to click. Now when you press tab, you're in the edit mode. So in the edit mode we have 3 select modes. By pressing 1 on your keyboard, you go into vertex mode. In this mode you can select the vertex points thingies of your model and move them around or add them, whatever. The second one is the edge mode, where you can interact with the edges. You remember, pressing on them and pressing G can move them. That's cool, right? And the last one is the face select mode. With that one you can select the faces and move them around. You can change between these modes by pressing 1, 2 and 3 on your keyboard, but also by clicking on the icons thingy up here. That's also the same ones. So one of the main things you need to know for editing your model is extrude and intrude. So extrude and intrude, I don't know if that's the right names, but we call them extrude and intrude. Just clicking on the face or whatever you want, or edge, I don't know. But for the easy way we do on the face, and pressing E on your keyboard. With E you can move something out of the part, if you know what I mean. I don't know if you understand that. But you can like add a loop cut, like a cut, and just make a different section of your model which interacts different, you know? Before, when you moved only this, like when you move this up and you move this was like the whole cube moved. But now you have a different section, I will tell like this. I don't know if that's the right way to tell it. And you can move one section split up by the loop cut. It's now intrude. Intruding is also very easy. You just press I on your keyboard and then you move your mouse to select how big you want it to be. With that you can like make cooler models by making more difference in your models. And if you saw that already, you can also move them up now with the G and it creates this cool connection between them. Or you just extrude them and you have this. But yeah, that's extrude and intrude. One more thing I want to show you is when you extrude and complete it with clicking on the left button, you can also press S to resize your extrude. Like you did on the intrude, you can do the same on the extrude by just resizing it with the mouse moving. But you need to press F, so I like to do E and then S to scale it. But yeah, when you know how to extrude and scale them and intrude, you can already create many cool stuff in Blender. So the next thing I want to show you is the loop cut. We are back in edit mode and we can see this little icon called loop cut. By the way, that's where my name comes from. Cool, right? So loop cut. Loop cut is one of the main parts of Blender. You just press Ctrl R to add a loop cut to your model. So when you decided where you want to add the loop cut, you can also scroll with your scrolling wheel to add multiple loop cuts or reduce them. Also, when you completed your loop cut, you can still move it around if you want to change the position of it in the cube. One more important thing, as soon as you select the loop cut mode, you go into edge mode. So then you can edit your model in the edge mode and select the loop cut afterwards if you want. You can select multiple faces, edges, vertices, whatever, by clicking on them with shift enabled. Like you press shift and at the same time you click on them. That way you can select multiple edges, vertex or faces. You can also move them around if you want. One advanced tip is pressing Alt while you select them instead of shift. Then you select all the edges which are connected. It's a little bit of AI, I think, I don't know for sure, but I don't know, but it somehow works, magic. Now we come to beveling. After loop cut, beveling is my most favorite edit mode in Blender. You can find the loop cut and also the bevel in the on the left here. But you can also use the bevel by clicking on an edge and then pressing Ctrl B to bevel it. With bevel you can do a lot of things. By scrolling on the scrolling wheel, you can reduce or increase the bevel amounts, like the cuts, the loop cuts in your bevel. That way you can make like super clean edges or whatever. Also by pressing P, like piñata or whatever, I don't know, you can change the shape of your bevel. But yeah, that's the bevel tool. You can also select multiple at once and bevel them. It's one of the most useful Blender edit modes, I think, because you can do a lot with it. I mean everything. I use it on every model, I think. So that were the basic edit modes for editing your cube. You can find them all on the left if you want to click on them manually. But I would recommend to use the shortcuts because that way you're faster. One last thing I want to show you is this weird thing called knife tool. It's part of the loop cut, but instead of pressing Ctrl R to add a loop cut, you can simply draw your own loop cut how you want it to be. It's very, very powerful and you can do a lot of cool stuff with it. And now if you combine it with the extrude by going into face mode and extruding just the one part which was cut by the loop cut, like the new section, then we already see we can do very cool stuff with it. And by combining them with all the other stuff we learned today, we can already make our own cool models. Like you guys can now make your own models. So the knife tool was the last thing I wanted to show you because it's very important. So with the basics I teach you today, you can already model whatever you want in Blender. The only thing stopping you right now from becoming a pro Blender modeler is your imagination. Just keep going, make, I don't know, 1 or 2 models per day. It's like you can do like, I don't know, a battle or whatever in like less than 5 minutes. So just make something every day, and once you do that for 1 week, you'll become very, very good at Blender in very, very fast time. And if you're bored, I would love to see your creations in your creation channels, like this guy did. I teached him Blender on 1 day, and this is what he was able to do after 1 week of practice. So yeah, I hope this basic tutorial will help you becoming a great Blender artist. And if you want, you can follow me for more videos about Blender and Roblox Studio. So stay tuned. Bye bye.